Hello fragrance family, welcome to Fragrance Therapy. I'm your host Alam. Now Stronger With You Sandalwood was released early in 2025 and it is crazy how high quality dupes are already existing on the market. The first two clones to hit the market were Maison Alhambra's You Sandalwood and then later on, just recently, French Avenue Zenith Santal. Let's see how they stack up against the OG and if either one is worth your hard-earned money. So let's jump in. So let's talk about the original Stronger With You Sandalwood first. That was Armani's limited edition release of 2025. It is no longer available on market. I mean, Armani does not mess around when it comes to their limited releases. When they say it's going to be limited, they mean it. Sometimes they will say that it's a Dubai or Middle Eastern exclusive and then it sells really well and they open it up to other markets. But as far as limited editions, it's not like what these clone brands do. Some of those, like Club de Nuit limited edition, has been available for years and years. That's not the case with Armani. After a couple of months, it is gone from the retail market. So at this point, you can't find it anywhere at retail price. If you try to go look for it online, the prices are insane because even it looks like at this point online, the stocks are pretty limited. The best price I saw was, I think, around 200 bucks. If you see anything that is significantly cheaper than that, it is 100% a fake. Trust me. I saw bottles online for like 80, 90, 100 bucks. There's no way, especially if these reputable online sellers are selling for 200 bucks and on eBay you're getting for like 90 bucks. It's 100% a fake. So I was never able to get a full bottle, but I wanted to be prepared. So at 100% transparency, I only have a decant of this thing and that's how I was able to test it. So what does this thing smell like? Honestly, to me, it's like a less heavy, less syrupy, sweet version of Strong With You and all its flankers. It's smoother, it's woodier, and in a way, it almost comes off as more refined and more upscale. But it still does keep that core Stronger With You DNA, that nuttiness, that warmth, and that comforting vibe that it gives. But it just adds this creamy, balsamic sandalwood that really grounds the scent. In addition to featuring that sandalwood, it also features the saffron note. If you've seen my past videos, I absolutely love saffron as a fragrance note. Saffron as a note will give off a slightly leathery, definitely spicy, but also like this metallic side to it. It definitely comes off a little more luxurious and a little less sweet, especially when you compare it to some of the other flankers like Strong With You Intensely. So when you're looking at the notes, you have saffron, gives it that bittersweet richness. You have some lavender, which gives off that aromatic freshness. And of course, that roasted chestnut, which is a signature at this point for the Strong With You line. Then you get a couple of woods. You get that creamy, velvety sandalwood, dry woodiness from cedarwood. Then you get that other signature accord for the Strong With You line, which is that very creamy and smooth vanilla. Performance on this thing was great. Longevity was 8+ hours on skin, even longer on clothes. Projection was strong for the first 2 hours as well. Just like a lot of the Strong With You line, it's ideal for the fall and winter. But with that added sandalwood, that saffron, and that toned down sweetness, you could maybe make this work for like cool spring evenings as well. I think you can definitely use this for formal events, definitely for date nights. I think, especially in the colder months, you can even pull it off for like casual daily wear as well. Like I said before, the biggest issue with this one at this point is price. I think at $200, I would never spend $200 for Armani Strong With You fragrance. But thankfully, we can get that same scent profile at a much cheaper option with the next two we're going to talk about. So the first one out the gate was Maison Alhambra's You Santal. Now, the crazy thing is that this thing has been out for months. It is impressive how quickly they were able to get this to hit the market. And on top of that, it is surprisingly close to the OG, especially in that opening. You still get that nutty chestnut, smooth vanilla. Those are spot on. Of course, in this one also, they added that saffron and sandalwood note. When you look at the note breakdown side by side, I'll flash them up on screen. They're basically identical. So what is the biggest difference between this and the OG? And really, it comes down to quality and performance. Everything in this one feels a little bit almost like watered down. Nothing really pops off the skin. There's definitely a noticeable quality difference. And while there is sandalwood and saffron in this one as well, especially that sandalwood, it is not that heavy on that note that really makes it feel like a good version of the twist. Performance is also stepped down. You're getting about 6 hours off skin. Projection is good for the first hour, so then it does fade. This thing is clearly weaker than the OG. There's definitely some noticeable nuances in the quality difference, but there's one thing that you really have to consider. This thing is an incredible value proposition because right now online, I believe this perfume box, I'll put the link in the description, you can pick this thing up for $19 freaking dollars. As far as value for money, this thing is incredible. And it's possible with some maturation, this could improve. But honestly, you could overspray the heck out of this thing because you could empty this bottle 10 times for the cost of what you would pay for the OG at this point. Is it a true one-to-one replacement? No. Is there a quality difference? Absolutely. But this thing is by no means horrible. And if you're looking for the ultimate value for that type of scent profile, this is actually a very, very good deal. Just overspray it a little bit and know that it's not going to be quite as rich as the original. And the newest version to come out came out a couple of weeks ago was French Avenue Zenith Santal. And this is the only other dupe that I know of. If you guys know of any other clones of Stronger With You Sandalwood, let me know in the descriptions. And honestly, I don't think this thing comes off like a true one-to-one. In fact, I think this one comes off a little bolder and a little bit more almost niche leaning. It definitely still captures the OG's creamy vanilla sweetness and that nutty chestnut. But in my opinion, the biggest difference is this thing actually leans even heavier into that powdery, creamy sandalwood. There's also this like almost smoky incense like undertone. Not heavy, just kind of living underneath the surface. It's not listed as a note. I haven't heard anybody else say it's there. Maybe it's just something I'm picking up. But to me, there is like that slight smokiness. It's very subtle and not offensive at all. And I think the notes on this one are identical. I'll flash these ones up on screen as well. But what I do think they did was emphasize different aspects of the scent profile. Definitely leans much more into the sandalwood than either of the other two. I'll say performance right out of the box is pretty much on par with the OG. 8 hours on skin, strong projection for the first few hours. It's going to be interesting to see if this actually gets even stronger as it matures, because if it does, it might actually outperform the original. So when I picked this up, I bought it from Fragflex. It was about $45. I do believe at this point it might be sold out. I haven't checked other discounters to see if it's popped up there, because there is a limited stock. You might see online even more, but once everything restocks, be patient. You'll pay 45 bucks, don't pay anymore. So what is my final verdict? I would say obviously between these two, the French Avenue is the winner. For me, the price jump between this and this is worth it. But the price jump between this and a full bottle of this, especially at this point, is definitely not worth it. Dare I say, I actually think that Zenith Santal is better than the OG. I feel like they did what Armani should have done. They should have gone all in on that sandalwood and saffron notes. They should have gone really hard into that twist to really make it stand apart from all the other Strong With You flankers. And in my opinion, this one definitely has the strongest creamy sandalwood note. Now look, if you don't like sandalwood, what are you even doing here? Go pick up another Strong With You flanker dupe. Like a really good option that kind of mixes Strong With You intensely and Strong With You parfum is Rift Season Rise. But for me, I kind of don't regret not owning the OG because I'm more than happy with this one. Now, it looks like Strong With You limited editions are going to be a yearly thing. I believe this year they're releasing a Strong With You Spices. And I don't know if that one's also a Middle Eastern exclusive, but, you know, I think it'll show up on discounters as well. But the biggest thing is that these Middle Eastern brands are moving insanely fast when it comes to clones nowadays. I remember back in the day, it used to take at least a year, sometimes multiple years for them to figure out how to clone a fragrance. And now they're doing it in months. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is a very, very good take. I think it's well worth the $45, especially if you like Strong With You and you want something that gives it a little bit creamy sandalwood twist. Well, there you have it, folks. My take on 2 of the available Strong With You sandalwood clones that are out there. Let me know in the comments if you've tried the original, if you tried either of these, and which of these 2 you prefer. And also, please hit that like and subscribe button so we can keep growing this channel together. It's been an incredible month. I just want to keep this momentum going. And as always, stay tuned for more honest, affordable fragrance content. Until next time, I'm out.